Hi guys, my name is Jonathan Joshi and I am the CEO of Eduvance. And in today's lecture, we will start off on an exciting journey called entrepreneurship. Now, have you heard of the names of these famous personalities? Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, Jack Ma, Bill Gates, Narayan Murthy. What is common amongst all these personalities? They are all entrepreneurs. What is entrepreneurship? What is the journey that these famous personalities took? They must have done something right. They must have done a few things right that got them to this level of success. And that journey as an entrepreneur is what we will be looking at in this lecture series. So as part of this course, I will walk you through the important questions that you will ask if you want to become an entrepreneur. This course is a basic course. It is to get you introduced to the important aspects of entrepreneurship and for you to understand that being an entrepreneur is all about trade-offs. It's all about a balance. And I will also be discussing a lot of examples as part of this course. We'll be doing projects and also we'll be looking at an exciting platform called as Entrepedia, which will help you go step by step through this journey called entrepreneurship. So I'm excited to get started on this journey. I hope you're excited as well. So the way we'll be structuring this course is we'll have theory sessions and then we'll have some practical sessions as well. Because, well, my dad told me swimming cannot be learnt on television. So until we do not try a project on our own, we won't learn. And we'll be doing the project on this platform called Entrepedia. So let's get started. Here we go. So guys, as part of this course, we will be focusing on the fundamentals of entrepreneurship. So this course is divided into various sessions, and in each session we'll be learning about one concept when it comes to entrepreneurship. So in today's session, I'll be talking to you about the introduction to entrepreneurship and what is entrepreneurship. Similarly, what we'll be looking at in the other sessions are all about the various questions and the various factors that you will consider when you will start your own company. So right from what are the factors when it comes to considering whether it's a product or a service, then who's your customer, who's your competition, how do you look at research and development, what are the various costs involved when you start a company. We'll be looking at marketing and revenue, and then the important sessions of profit and loss, and then we'll be looking at a course project where we will be looking at a case study, and that will also be covered. So I hope you're excited to get started. So this session is all about getting introduced to entrepreneurship, and I will also quickly show you how to create an account on Entrepedia. So first, let us get started. What is entrepreneurship? So when you think about entrepreneurship, it is fundamentally a journey. It's a journey. So what do you mean by journey? A journey is a path you take when you have an idea and then you convert it into a business. So that journey, my friends, is called entrepreneurship. So let us say you have an idea which helps people who are stuck on the road and they cannot find a taxi. So for them to find a taxi on the road, you build an app, and that app helps people get connected to taxis. So that idea, my friends, led to a company called Uber, where people who are stuck on the road and need a taxi, or even are at home and need to order a taxi. Now that was just an idea. And now what the people at Uber did, they converted that idea into business. And the journey of converting this idea into a business that makes money is called entrepreneurship. So you can take any idea that you have and then convert it into a business, and that is a journey which is very important. It has a lot of questions you have to ask yourself, And as part of this course, we will be guiding you about these questions and how to go about it. So let us look at some successful entrepreneurs of the world. You must have heard of some of them. Jeff Bezos, who started Amazon. So you are aware of this big company called Amazon. It was started by Jeff Bezos. Then you must have heard of Apple. They make mobile phones, they make computers. And it was started by Steve Jobs. Then you must have heard of Alibaba. Alibaba is a website, very successful website that sells electronics items and all different types. It's an e-commerce website. And this was started by Jack Ma. And Facebook, which a lot of us use, was started by Mark Zuckerberg. Now, these are successful entrepreneurs. And there are many more. Now, what makes these entrepreneurs successful? So Amazon, for example, today, Amazon has e-commerce, has cloud services where you can host your websites. Now there is Amazon Prime Video, there is Prime Music, there is Amazon Kindle. Now one company has taken so many businesses, but it has not been an easy journey. Look at Amazon's first office in 1994. And now look at Amazon's office, the corporate headquarters, in 2020. It took them 26 years to get from this small office here to here. And that, my friends, as I said, is the journey. And that's the journey that you need to understand when you are trying to learn entrepreneurship. So let's walk through Amazon's journey and how they have become a very successful company today. So in 1994, Amazon started with a simple online bookstore. They were only selling books online. Then in 1998, they decided that they will not just sell books, they will also start selling other types of products. Now, that was a big shift for the company because now instead of selling just books, now you're trying to sell multiple types of products. So that was the second part of their journey. Then in 2004, Amazon decided, okay, a lot of companies are building websites. So let us now provide these companies with cloud services where these companies can host their websites on the cloud. So you guys must be aware of a website, right? When you type www.amazon.com, I'm just giving an example. So this website needs to stay somewhere or needs a house, and that house is called as a server. Now this server today is stored on something called as the cloud. And Amazon was very smart, and they realized that very early that all companies will require cloud services. And they were one of the first companies to start offering cloud services, and today they are one of the most successful companies doing that. Then in 2007, the next part of their journey, Amazon then launched the Amazon Kindle, which is an ebook reader. So they launched a new product, and then in 2011, they started their own online video streaming service. So if you see from 1994 to 2011, and today we are at 2020, Amazon has gone through so many steps. And as I said, entrepreneurship is all about the journey. And that's the journey that Amazon took from being a small office in 1994 to today being one of the largest companies in the world with offices at multiple places. And what I'm trying to tell you guys here is that entrepreneurship is a journey. You have to go through steps, you have to understand those steps, and in this course, we will try and highlight those steps for you so that you can understand what it takes to start a company. How do you start a company? What are the challenges you face? And hopefully, at the end of this course, you will have clarity on that. So, remember one thing. As I told you, entrepreneurship is a journey. And you go through the journey in a set of steps. And please remember, as an entrepreneur, you have to always understand to ask the tough questions. When we say we ask the tough questions, is look at yourself and ask yourself, Where can I fail? That's a tough question, right? Where can I fail? So if you can ask yourself tough questions like these, there are many more tough questions which we will go through, but don't worry about the word tough. Those questions are tough, but once you learn how to solve these questions, then your journey as an entrepreneur can be easy as well. So if you ask yourself the tough questions initially, your journey going forward will be easy. Remember that as an entrepreneur. Now, the fundamental question which I told you is asking the tough questions. Now, the interesting part about being an entrepreneur is that if you ask yourself what is the right answer to these questions, well, there are no right answers, because entrepreneurship is all about a trade-off. And what do you mean by trade-off, right? The question is, what is trade-off? Let me give you an example. Let's say you want to buy an automobile. So you can have a bike or you could have a car, right? Let's look at a comparison. Basically, what I'm trying to explain to you here is, what is a trade-off? Because as I said, in entrepreneurship, there are no right answers. There are only trade-offs. So now let's say you're buying a bike or a car. So let's understand that. If you look at a bike, it consumes less fuel. 2 people can travel at a time. It is less safe because you need to constantly balance the bike, and it costs around 1 lakh rupees. I'm just giving an example. Let's consider an average cost of a bike of 1 lakh rupees. Now let's look at the car. It consumes more petrol. 4 to 5 people can travel at a time. It is safer than a motorbike because the car has 4 wheels, so it can balance itself. And a car at minimum, and I'm saying the minimum cost of a car is 5 to 7 lakhs. So this is a minimum cost. So now if you compare a car and a bike, you can see that there are some differences. So let's say if you want to spend less money and you are happy accommodating 2 people, then you can go for a bike. If you want to accommodate more people, then it will cost you more money and it also consumes more petrol. So now this is called as a trade-off, because if you want to travel with more people, it's going to cost you more money, but the advantage is that it is safer. Here, if you want to save money and consume less petrol, but however it won't be as safe, you will go for a bike. Now you will ask me, John, which is better? So depending on what your preference is, you will have to choose. And my friends, that choice is called as a trade-off. So you have to choose what is important to you. There are no right answers here. That's what we are trying to say, that entrepreneurship is all about trade-offs. Remember this, guys, there are no right answers. There are only trade-offs when it comes to entrepreneurship. You will have to choose. If you increase one factor, another factor will decrease. If you increase a third factor, a fourth factor will decrease. And at the end of the day, remember this, entrepreneurship is always about finding a balance. So if you are able to find balance in your company, and that's what we are trying to teach you, you will be a successful entrepreneur and you will be able to start a business which is successful. So guys, in this lecture, what did we see? We saw that entrepreneurship, or being an entrepreneur, is all about a journey. And that journey is taking an idea and converting it into a business. And one very important aspect that we looked at, and I pointed out, that as an entrepreneur, you will have to ask the tough questions. You will have to ask yourself questions that will make you uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, success will go to the person who is ready to ask those tough questions and go through that journey. And one very important part of entrepreneurship that you have to remember, that there are no right answers. One answer might be suitable for company X, and another answer might be suitable for company Y. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that when you start a company or when you decide to become an entrepreneur, you have to understand that it's all about trade-offs. If you increase one value, another value will reduce. And it's all about finding the perfect balance. So that said, I hope you're excited to start this journey as an entrepreneur. I would suggest go through each and every video very carefully and also look at the concepts that I will be discussing, and then look at how these concepts are implemented using our platform Entrepedia, where I will go step by step through each concept that I have explained in theory and how we implement that concept in practical. So let's get started, guys. I will see you in the next lecture. Thank you.